All right, folks, listen up, listen up. It's come to my attention that I forgot to tell you something. Remember when I said that I thought it would be best in your guys' interest to have a board of individuals who are professional business plan development type people to evaluate your business plans? I went in front of the board and presented this to them, and they thought it was a good idea. So we're going to definitely focus via the board's request that we're going to focus on people that have association or have business histories with Native folks and DHHL and all that good stuff. So I'm going to have business plan development professionals. We're going to have lenders and that kind of thing. So we're going to hopefully have 3 or 4 or possibly 5 individuals in the front to take to do evaluations for you folks. Okay? So it's not going to be the ag board. It's going to be those folks. We're going to come up with the evaluating the most comprehensive business plans and then score them accordingly. Okay? Good? All right. All right. We shouldn't be too long here. Last section. I said last section. There's only 2 sections. Pricing and sales strategies. All right, we're going to be talking about, remember I said that revenue is all about sales and pricing, right? So we'll look at how to set the right price and who are your loyal customers. We'll talk a little bit about that. Pricing strategies. Well, how much to charge for your product or service is certainly a difficult task, but it is essential because your customers will ask you how much. And you need to have that established, and you need to have a standard as far as your cost based upon nothing other than your customer. So if you feel that your customer won't do business with you unless you give him a certain price, well, look at your business plan and your business model, and if that fits your business model to try to make that sale no matter what, if you're taking a price cut or whatever, then you take that customer. If it doesn't fit your business model, then you're going to pass on that customer, right? Let's talk about how much to charge. Maximum price customers are willing to pay is the efficient price. Efficient price. So the price is on the x-axis and the quantity of product on the y-axis. If you produce not enough product, you're going to have to charge a ton for your products, right? If you start producing a whole bunch of them, they should be getting cheaper. This is for your customers. This is when you're going to retain your customers, is keeping it nice and low. The goal is to strike a balance. This is where we talk about our break-even analysis.
Is there like a quality line in there where you can meet a price point if you make it crappier?
Well, it has to do with your customers. If it's what they're expecting. So you can't go into a customer who's expecting luxury items and you come in with Chinese knockoffs. But if you're targeting, then the customers that you target should be
Matching your product.
right, exactly. Correct. Okay?
Well, I mean, isn't it true you would have to really know your competitor price?
Not necessarily, because your competitor is hopefully offering a different product than you. So hopefully you're not offering exactly the same product as your competitor. Either it's a better quality or lower quality at a different price.
At least for a ballpark.
You can, estimate it. But then again, there's that example of the woman in Kona who's selling coffee at twice the price as everybody else. Why? Because she's shooting for that demographic of people. Pricing strategies. Hey, look, another wave. Demand up here, time on the bottom. Okay. As demand increases, you have different phases of your pricing strategy. Introduction. Demand is low. You're selling it to a small group of people. This is the area where you're going to have promotional pricing right off the bat. When they offered tiles to me on the internet, they offered them to me 2 for 1. Because they're down there. They're in their introduction phase of the business. They're trying to get customers no matter how much it costs them. Because the customer base is important in building up towards a larger customer base. So at the introduction phase, the pricing should be really low. But very, very quickly, once you establish a customer base, you definitely want to bring up your pricing to match your cost of production and such. Product line pricing, bundle pricing, premium pricing, and option pricing during the growth phase. Product line pricing. You have different lines. You have a lower quality line, you have a medium quality line, you have a higher quality line. In agriculture, you have the stuff you sell at the farmer's market, you have the stuff you're going to sell to the wholesalers, and you have the stuff you're going to sell to the hotels and restaurants. Okay? Pricing will reflect that as well, as far as the level of quality. Bundle pricing. You want to offer bundle pricing? You buy 10,000 cases, I give you an X amount for a price, which is going to be at a discount. Okay? Premium pricing and option pricing. It's really just all about negotiation between you and your customer. Option pricing, how do I explain that? Option pricing is basically giving the customers a choice and a price. If you buy X amount, I'm going to give it to you for this price. But if you sign a contract that says for the next 2 years you're going to buy that amount every single month, then you get this price. So it's really just kind of setting up things for the future, lining up contracts for the future, and ensuring that over the next 2 years you will have that individual as a customer. Of course, you have amendments in there that if you don't provide the right products, there's going to be a reduction in price. If the individual can't pay in time for the pre-orders or whatever which was arranged, the price will then go up, and that's part of the contract. And that'll all be in the contract. Hopefully you don't ever want to play this game. I like the product line thing, but definitely bundle pricing. So if you can take it off the boat, put it on a truck, and never take it out of the plastic off the pallet, and you give it to some guy, and you just made 10% of the value of the product, I mean, what better way to do it? Right? You didn't even have to unpack it. Okay, promotion skimming pricing. Skimming pricing, we'll talk about that in a second. Eventually, your pricing wants to get to the point where there's so many other competitors out there that they're all trying to match prices and they're all playing the pricing game. That's when you're going to want to do a shakeout with your products and come up with a new product or change your product in some way. Promotional pricing. Low price to increase sales and market share. You have it in your business plan that you are going to lose money for the first year or two. That is fine. Most small businesses are expected to lose money for the first 1 to 5 years. So you offer things at a very, very low price to get a market share. What's funny about that tile thing that I bought, if they didn't say it was 2 for 1, I probably still would have bought it. Because I think it's such an innovative idea. But some products certainly, lowering the price, giving it for half off during the introductory phase certainly works. Skim pricing. Skim profits from the market layer by layer. I.e., for example, from initial high price to lower price slowly to capture a wider market. So you come in with your products, you're selling your Kona coffee at twice as much right off the bat. And then you establish a market with people that buy that. And then you come in and start selling it for a lower price. And then you get that market. Sure, the rich folks are going to be like, I'm not buying that. It's changed. It's going to the lesser people, But who cares? You've already gotten their money once, a few times around for a year. A year of promotion to the high market. And then you change yours to the lower, 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 eventually landing at a level that's comfortable for you where you're making the most money. Why not charge a buttload at first and then chip it away until you get to the level where people are willing to pay for it and everybody's happy instead of trying to come from the bottom up? Okay, so that's skimming pricing. Growth pricing strategies, product line pricing. We just talked about this. Price ranges to maximize profits, so different lines. Group and sell reduced pricing, bunching it together. Premium pricing, exclusiveness of the product. And I didn't really touch on that. Exclusiveness of the product would basically be, well, I guess it's hard. It's really hard to confuse with putting out a line. Okay. Many years ago, Johnny Walker used to sell Johnny Walker Blue, and they only used to sell Johnny Walker Blue to United Airlines. And people used to fly United Airlines first class because they were whiskey drinkers and they knew that they could get Johnny Walker Blue in first class, and they would actually pay an exorbitant amount of money for that seat so that they can get that one kind of scotch. So exclusiveness of product, premium pricing, first class, got to pay for it. Just an example of having a product out there that it's pretty exclusive for a demographic of customers. Okay. Always have a high, a medium, and a low as far as your products. Have a product available for every person out there, or steer towards your demographic religiously. Maturation pricing strategy. Competition pricing. At this point, this is when you're going over the curve and you have tons of competitors and you missed the shakeout, it didn't go so well, you're going to want to price over to win over customers from competitors. So you're dropping prices right there at that point. No better way to lose money than to be dropping your prices to compete with competitors. Common strategy used for realignment and turnaround business environments. So at this point, during the phase of the product, it's reached maturity, and hopefully a year and a half before this point, the company has already come up with a new product, and it's ready to unleash this new product or come out with this new product. They still have this other one that people know about and are buying. Why not sell it off for dirt cheap and pull this much of a profit instead of just ditching it and then starting up another one? Eventually, that other one takes over, and then you ditch the other one. But there's that transition where you're going from something that works to something new, and at some point you might have to just drop your price to get customers interested in your company, and that knowing that a new product's coming out and they don't really know about it yet. It's kind of hard to compare to agriculture, but it can be done. Sales and strategies, marketing strategies to target market. All of your marketing strategies should be based upon your target market, all towards the demographic of your customers. Effective sales mindset. Great book, helps you think like your customer. It's a winning strategy to maximize sales by understanding how and why your customers buy stuff. You think you know something about being a customer because you are one? You've been marketed to. You're almost tainted with the demon of marketing. So you really need to take a step back and read stuff like this where it breaks it down, and you read. I read this book, and the whole time I'm going, what a sucker I am. What a sucker I am. And then it basically exposes you to the tricks and trades that people do to get you hooked in. So when the company is thinking like the customer, they're going to be much better off when they're thinking about the customer, right? Maximize sales by understanding how and why your customers buy. Sales strategies. If you're not a salesman, don't try to be. It's a tough game. If you don't think you have the wherewithal to do it, hire somebody else to do it. Everybody's got that charismatic cousin that just would love to go out there and pedal some stuff, right? So key is, there's 1,000 things you need to know about sales, and I'm not going to get into all that. But certainly, don't be pushy. Let your products be so good that they sell themselves. You don't have to almost be to the point where it's like, if the customer doesn't show an interest in your product, then stop showing an interest in your customer, because that's the wrong customer. Only customers that show interest in your product should you be focusing your energies on. Help to make a decision. Doing SWOT tests or some kind of test with your customer at the same time. Telling them how your products will increase their strengths and opportunities or combat weaknesses. Help them make the decision. Essentially, that's your sales pitch. I can't tell you how to do that. It just comes with understanding your customer and knowing what your customer wants to hear, and never bowing to your customer. Never giving in to the customer, because the customer should be working with you. There shouldn't be this feeling that somebody's winning and somebody's losing. It's a symbiotic relationship, because that's the only ones that continue over time. Focus on the end result. Usually is money, but then again, end result could be continued business. Profile your ideal client. I mentioned that 3 times already today. Please put that in your business plan. I want to have a description of your ideal client. If you could describe one individual who's your perfect customer, describe him or her. And then tell me, how are you going to get to that person? Step 1, don't be pushy. Customers will always buy when they are ready. But remember, if you own like a car dealership, people don't just go to car dealerships and look around at cars and kick tires. They're there to buy a car, whether they say they are or not. So customers, if they show up and they want to start talking about doing business with you, then there is an interest there. Don't lose that opportunity. Your first opportunity, that interest right there. You start by understanding your customers, of course, and then what do they need or want. I need and want a regular beef source. I do want that. I've approached a couple people that I know that have local beef over on my site, and they'll always say, go ahead and make an order. And I'll ask them, how it's a scheduling or whatever. They just say, just make the order, we're going to get you the product. Not a big deal. So right now I'm shopping around as far as beef distributors. All of them have asked me, what do I want out of their business? Do I want consistent beef all the time? Do I want something that's just maybe a couple times a month? Do I want the high-end cuts? Do I want the low-end cuts? They ask me what I need and what I want, and then they've been able to set up kind of like a schedule and a menu for me. And I'm willing to give them $200 a month and them give me the products based upon what we negotiated. So that's what I'm working on right now. So know your customers and what they need, what they want. They want products that achieve the results that they want. The products that I want essentially is going to be hormone-free, grass-fed, local beef. That's what I want. If you can provide that for me at a decent price and it doesn't take too much effort out of me, that's what I'm looking for. But nobody's pushing me. They're all telling me, if you like our stuff, make an order. And nothing really more than that, which is good salesmanship. They help me make a decision for sure. Current state versus desired future state. Okay. If people feel the need right now, an urgency to buying your product, motivation to buy is a must. So if I'm a chef and I'm looking for something to replace something in a recipe that I have set up on my menu, which is already printed up, ready to go. Say I need cilantro and I just don't have any, right? And I send my sous chef out to the farmer's market to go get cilantro. The motivation to buy is certainly a must. It's very rare that you're going to have customers come along that must need your product. Usually there's a little bit of urgency, but not too much. They could always go somewhere else. Don't forget about it basically being a motivation to buy at that source would be a compelling need. Nice upgrade, not urgent. Medium need. I plan to get involved in the product. Buy the product is not urgent. So you really need to make a decision with when your customers come in. What is the level of urgency? And then you behave accordingly with your customers. Don't go in and start raising prices on people because of the level of urgency. It's just you're trying to meet their needs, okay? If they'll realize that if you're going up and out of your way for them to meet their need and you charge a little bit more, that's understandable. But if it looks like you're going and hacking them, they're going to walk away. So understanding where your customers are now and where they want to be. Focus on the end result. Reverse engineer the buying decision. This is tough. I've tried to explain this like in 2 classes, and I always hit the ball or miss the ball. When you're thinking about a buying decision, I'm not even going to go there. It takes too long. It's really hard to. I'm not even going to go there, guys. It's tough. Okay, identify your ideal client. Focus on the right opportunities. Like I said, identifying your client, your demographic is the way to go. What customers will benefit from your products or services? And who would you want to have a long-term business relationship with? Only these people are going to be the ones that you're dealing with. Ultimate sales targets. Momentum effect. Find and meet a real need and want for your customers consistently. Turn one-time sales into long-term selling relationship. Repeat customers. This is it, guys. If you, like I've been saying all along, one person walks into your store and buys one thing, it's worthless. You need to have the repeat customers. Your entire sales plan in your business plan should be geared around repeat customers. Every single section should somehow reiterate how are you going to retain and get people back into your business, okay? I can't stress that anymore. This is where most of the sales section and marketing sections fail. You don't tell me how you're going to retain these folks. You tell me how you're going to market to them. People love to talk about how they're going to spread the word, but how are they going to retain them is really just as important, okay? Momentum effect. How to ignite exceptional growth. I have no idea. I did not read this book. You know what? I did read this book, and I came up with this slide. It was something in the book that I referenced. Seventh Harry Potter book sold 11 million copies in one day. Oh, that's it. Momentum effect. Right. Okay. So you have a product. What's that? Right, exactly. So there's an established market is what it comes down to, is the momentum effect. If you have a product to market that goes out, your product that goes into market, and there's a success behind it, and you reinvent that product, if you come out with new tools to sell that product, it will continue to domino effect everyone that you come out after that, yada, yada, yada. I'm losing it, folks. I'm sorry. It's getting late. Customer retention portfolio. Customer state of mind. Desperado. Spell check. It's supposed to be desperate. Desperado. All right, customer action. Customer state of mind. Well, customers that come into your business and are desperate, they're just shopping around, or they find a need within your product, will certainly dictate if your customers stay or deflect. People that stay and they buy your product, they're prisoners of your product. These are people that buy fast food because of the price. These are people that they really have no choice other than to buy your product. Passive, these are people that will settle because you're the only one with cilantro at the farmer's market. Loyal, these are what I am to my beef folks or my egg folks. Like, I'll drive 3 miles to go pick up beef, and I'm a loyal customer champion. I stay with their company. These are the types of customers you're looking for. Certainly nobody that deflects, switchers, adventurers. Usually price hunters down here. People that have the money and would rather drive around the island trying to save $2 and spend $50 in gas trying to save $1. Those are not your customers, guys. Just the ones that are willing to drive to you no matter what the cost, because they like your product. Well, you want to screen and analyze your customers. Your loyal customers are critical for sustainable and profitable growth. Same thing as the last slide. Basically, you want to stick with the people that are loyal customers. I'm kind of beating a dead horse here. Putting it all together for your business plan, guys. Here it is. In your business plan, your marketing plan should have these 3 sections. These are your main sections. And then all of the things that I talked about today. What is your guerrilla marketing strategy? And who are your customers? Define your customers, all that stuff. It's all in there. Market analysis. What does your market look like? All the information associated with it. Marketing plan. What are you going to do in your market to get your word out there? Sales plan. Once you get those customers, how are you going to retain them? If you hand me a marketing plan that's 3 pages, it better be these 3 things. Hopefully you're going to give me a marketing plan that's 10 to 15 pages. That's what I would expect on everything that I just went over. We're talking about market analysis alone should be about 10 pages in a real business plan. But for you folks, bring it down maybe about 4 or 5 pages. Like I said, I need real data. Please give me, if there's any place in the whole business plan you're going to give me real data, it's right here. This is where I need it. Marketing plan, sales plan. So we got the hard one next. Financial data. I'm going to be going over very roughly, softly, tenderly, the financial plan, okay? Because I know that there are some fears, there's some issues with it. I'm going to go over the Excel spreadsheet, and basically you guys should be able to plug and play with the Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to give you for the financial plan. Expect to see that emailed to you this week so that you can look it over and see what to expect. Then we have the modules at the end of class, and I have Stephen Chang from the Hawaii Agriculture Incubator program at Manoa coming over and doing a lecture with you guys for cash flow projection, income statement, all that good stuff. So know that that training and all that stuff's coming after you guys have to turn in a final business plan. Sorry about that, but it is coming, right? So we're going to talk about financial data. We'll go over the management team. That's a real fun one. Of course, I have no class on 9-10 because we are giving you plenty time to write your business plan. Private evaluations, I'll be scheduling those this week. If you know that you're not going to be here on 9/3, please get a hold of me just before or just after so that I could put you on the schedule for the private evaluations. Private evaluations and rough draft is due, and then, oops,